Lily, just talk to me, please. I stood outside her room, my hand frozen on the doorknob. The silence inside felt louder than any scream. Lily? I tried again, softer this time. It's me. Dad. Nothing. I let out a shaky breath and pushed the door open slowly. She was sitting on the bed, knees pulled to her chest, staring at the floor like I wasn't even there. Hey, I said, forcing a small smile. What's going on? She didn't look up. Did something happen at school? No answer. I stepped closer. Lily, you can tell me anything. Her shoulders tensed. That small movement hit me harder than anything she could have said. Why are you acting like this? I asked, my voice cracking a little. You haven't talked to me all day. Still nothing. I rubbed my face in frustration. I'm your father, Lily. I'm trying to help you. That's when she whispered, so quietly I almost missed it. I don't want to talk. The words felt cold, distant, not like her. Why? I asked, kneeling in front of her. Did I do something wrong? She finally looked at me, and what I saw in her eyes made my chest tighten. Fear. Not anger. Not sadness. Fear. I leaned back slightly, confused. Lily, why are you looking at me like that? She quickly looked away again. I'm tired. That's not the truth, I said gently. You don't have to lie to me. I'm not lying, she snapped, but her voice shook. I stayed quiet for a moment, trying to think. This wasn't normal. Lily used to run to me, hug me, tell me everything. Now she couldn't even look at me. I stood up slowly and stepped back. Okay, I won't force you. She didn't respond. I walked out of the room, closing the door quietly behind me. My heart was pounding. Something was wrong. Something was very wrong. I grabbed my phone and stared at it for a few seconds. There was only one person I could call. Mummy. I pressed the call button. She picked up almost instantly. Jason? Her voice came through, calm and steady. Is everything okay? No, I said, running a hand through my hair. It's Lily. She won't talk to me. She's different. What do you mean different? She's scared, I said, my voice dropping. She looked at me like she was afraid of me. There was a short pause. Put her on the phone, Mummy said. I can't. She won't even answer me. Another pause, then she sighed. You're overthinking again. I'm not overthinking, I snapped. You didn't see her. Jason, she said firmly, calm down. Children go through phases. This doesn't feel like a phase. Then I'll come over, she said. I'll handle it. I closed my eyes for a second, feeling a strange mix of relief and unease. Yeah, okay. Don't worry, she added. I'll fix this. I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. You always do. We hung up. I stood there in silence, staring at the wall. She always fixed things. At least, that's what I believed. An hour later, the doorbell rang. I opened it quickly. Mummy. She walked in like she owned the place, her posture straight, her expression confident. Where is she? She asked. In her room. She nodded. Stay here. I'll talk to her. I should come with you, I said. No, she replied sharply. You'll only make it worse. Her tone made me pause. Okay, I said quietly. She walked down the hallway without another word. I stood there, my hands clenched, listening. At first, everything was quiet. Then I heard her voice. Lily, what is this behavior? Silence. I'm talking to you, Mummy said a little louder. Answer me. I took a step forward, my heart starting to race. Then I heard Lily's voice. I don't want to talk. That's not acceptable, Mummy said. You don't ignore your elders. I said I don't want to talk. There was fear in her voice again. Real fear. I moved closer to the hallway, unable to stay still. Stop acting like this, Mummy said coldly. You're being disrespectful. I'm not. Enough, she cut her off. Come here. No. That single word made my stomach drop. I rushed to the door and pushed it open. Mummy, stop. They both turned to look at me. Lily was pressed against the wall, her face pale, her hands shaking. Mummy stood in front of her, her expression unreadable. What are you doing? I demanded. I'm disciplining her, Mummy replied calmly. She's scared. I said. She needs to learn, she said, crossing her arms. This isn't learning, I snapped. This is. I stopped myself. I looked at Lily. Hey, it's okay, I said, stepping toward her. She flinched. From me. That broke something inside me. Lily, my voice softened. I'm not going to hurt you. She didn't respond. I knelt down slowly. Talk to me, please. Her lips trembled. I don't feel safe, she whispered. The words hit me like a punch. What? I said, my voice barely coming out. She looked at the floor. I don't feel safe. Why? I asked. What do you mean? She hesitated. I could feel Mummy's eyes on us. Lily, Mummy said sharply, stop this nonsense. Lily shook her head quickly. No. Answer your father properly, Mummy ordered. Don't, I said, holding up my hand. Let her speak. Mummy frowned. Jason, don't encourage this behavior. I said, let her speak. There was a moment of silence. Lily swallowed hard. Tell me, I said gently. What's making you feel this way? She looked at me, her eyes filled with tears. Then she whispered something so quiet I almost didn't hear it. You don't see it. My heart skipped. See what? She glanced at Mummy, then back at me. Her voice shook as she spoke. She's not nice when you're not here. Everything inside me froze. What? I asked, my mind struggling to process it. Lily's hands tightened into fists. She says things, bad things. Lily, Mummy snapped, that's enough. No. Lily cried, stepping back. I don't want her here. The room went silent. I looked at Mummy, then at Lily. My chest felt tight. What is she talking about? I asked slowly. Mummy sighed like she was tired of all this. She's exaggerating, she said. Children imagine things. I'm not imagining. Lily shouted. Her voice cracked and tears rolled down her cheeks. I'm not. I felt my heart breaking. Lily, I whispered. She looked at me, her face full of pain. You don't know what happens, she said. You're never there. Those words cut deep. I couldn't breathe for a second. I looked at Mummy again. Is this true? I asked. She didn't answer right away. And that silence said everything. A cold feeling spread through my chest. For the first time in my life, I felt something I never thought I would feel toward her. Doubt. I looked back at Lily. She was still shaking, still crying. And suddenly, everything inside me shifted. Maybe the problem wasn't Lily. Maybe it was everything I trusted. I don't feel safe when Mummy is here. Those words kept repeating in my head like a broken echo I couldn't turn off. I sat on the couch that night, staring at nothing, my phone still in my hand. I didn't even remember when I sat down. Jason, I muttered to myself. You're missing something. And then, slowly, memories started coming back. Emily's voice. Clear. Sure. Frustrated. Jason, your mother controls everything. I squeezed my eyes shut. No, that's not what this is. But another memory followed. You never make your own decisions, Emily had said once, standing in our old kitchen. You just listen to her. I listen because she's right, I had replied back then. She knows what she's doing. Emily had laughed bitterly. No, Jason. She knows how to control you. I stood up suddenly, pacing the room. I didn't see it, I whispered. I didn't want to see it. My chest felt tight. All those arguments. All those nights Emily tried to explain something I refused to hear. And now my daughter was saying the same thing, just in a different way. The next morning, I found Lily sitting at the dining table, quietly eating her breakfast. Hey, I said softly, pulling out a chair. Morning. She nodded slightly but didn't look at me. I forced a small smile. Did you sleep okay? Yeah. One word. That was all I got. I picked up my coffee, trying to stay calm. Lily, about last night? She stiffened immediately. I'm not going to force you, I added quickly. I just want to understand. She stayed quiet. I leaned forward a little. You said you don't feel safe when Mummy is here. Can you tell me why? Her grip on the spoon tightened. I don't want to talk about it, she whispered. Lily, please, I said gently. I can't fix something if I don't know what's wrong. She suddenly pushed her plate away. I said I don't want to talk about it. Her voice cracked. I froze. Okay, I said softly, raising my hands. Okay, I'm sorry. She stood up and walked away without another word. I sat there, staring at her unfinished breakfast. This isn't normal, I muttered. Later that day I called Daniel. Hey, he answered. You sound stressed. What's going on? It's Lily, I said. Something's wrong. She's scared of my mom. There was a pause. Jason, are you surprised? What does that mean? I asked, frowning. I mean, you've told me how your mom is. She's strict, I said. That's not the same thing. Strict is one thing, Daniel replied calmly. Control is another. I rubbed my forehead. Not you too. I'm not attacking you, he said. I'm just saying, Maybe it's time you look at things differently. I didn't respond. Talk to Lily, he added. Really talk to her. And this time, listen. I am listening, I said quietly. Are you? He asked. The question hit harder than I expected. I'll call you later, I muttered, ending the call. That evening, I found Lily sitting on the floor in her room drawing. Can I sit? I asked. She shrugged. I sat down beside her, keeping a little distance. What are you drawing? I asked. A house. I looked at it. That's nice. She didn't respond. I took a deep breath. Lily, I'm not here to argue. I just want to understand how you feel. She kept coloring. You can be honest with me, I added. I won't get mad. She stopped moving her pencil. For a moment, I thought she wouldn't say anything. Then she spoke. She says things. My heart skipped. What kind of things? She says I'm weak, Lily whispered. She says I'm just like Mom. I clenched my fist. And that makes you feel unsafe? She nodded slightly. What else? I asked, my voice tight. She gets angry, Lily said. When you're not there. My stomach twisted. Does she hurt you? I asked quickly. No, Lily said. Not like that. I exhaled slowly, but the tension didn't go away. But it still hurts, she added quietly. That broke me more than anything. I'm sorry, I whispered. She looked at me confused. Why are you saying sorry? Because I didn't see it, I said. Because I should have protected you. She didn't respond. I thought everything was fine, I continued. I thought she was helping. Lily looked down again. It doesn't feel like help. Her words were simple, but they carried so much weight. I nodded slowly. Okay. We sat in silence for a moment. Then she asked something that caught me off guard. Are you going to tell her? I hesitated. I don't know, I admitted. She hugged her knees again. She'll be mad. I won't let anything happen to you, I said firmly. She looked at me, searching my face. Promise? She asked. I promise. But even as I said it, something inside me felt uncertain. Because for the first time in my life, I wasn't sure if I could control what was coming next. That night, I stood alone in the living room again, staring at the empty space. Emily was right, I whispered. The realization hit me slowly, painfully. All this time, I thought I was protecting my family. But maybe I was the reason it was breaking. And as I stood there, one thing became clear. There was something deeper going on. Something I had ignored for too long. And now, it was finally coming to the surface. It took days before Lily finally trusted me enough to talk. Days of quiet meals. Days of short answers. Days of watching her walk away from me like I was someone she didn't know anymore. Every night, I stood outside her door wondering if I should knock. Every night I didn't. Until one evening I couldn't take it anymore. I knocked softly. Lily, can I come in? There was a long pause. Okay. Her voice was quiet, almost tired. I opened the door slowly and stepped inside. She was sitting on the bed again just like before, but this time she didn't turn away completely. I took that as a small sign. I sat down on the edge of the bed, keeping my distance. Thank you. She didn't respond. I looked at my hands for a second, then back at her. I'm trying, Lily. I really am. She stayed silent. I know I messed up, I said. I need to understand what's been happening. She swallowed, her fingers tightening around the blanket. I won't interrupt, I added softly. I'll just listen. There was another long silence. Then she spoke. Mummy gets angry, very angry. My entire body went still. What do you mean? I asked carefully. She hesitated. When you're not here. My chest tightened. Okay, tell me. She yells, Lily said. A lot. I clenched my jaw. About what? About everything, she whispered. If I do something wrong, or even if I don't. I leaned forward slightly. What does she say? Lily looked down at her hands. She says I'm weak. The words hit me hard. She says I'm just like Mom, Lily continued. And that's not a good thing. I felt something sharp twist inside my chest. She says I cry too much, Lily added. She says I need to be stronger. My hands curled into fists. That's not okay, I said quietly. Lily nodded slightly. I know. Why didn't you tell me before? I asked. She looked up at me, her eyes filled with something I couldn't ignore. Because you wouldn't believe me. That hurt more than anything else. I would have believed you, I said quickly. She shook her head. No, you always listened to her. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. because she wasn't wrong. I'm sorry, I whispered. She didn't respond. I took a deep breath. Did she ever hurt you? Lily shook her head. Not like that. But her voice still trembled. She just makes me feel bad, she said. I nodded slowly. That still matters. We sat there in silence for a moment. Then I stood up. Where are you going? Lily asked quietly. To talk to her, I said. Her eyes widened. Don't. I have to, I replied. This isn't okay. She'll get mad, Lily said, her voice shaking again. I don't care, I said firmly. I'm not letting this continue. She looked at me unsure. Trust me, I said softly. She didn't say anything, but she didn't stop me either. That was enough. I found Mummy in the living room, sitting comfortably like nothing had happened. Jason, she said, smiling slightly. You look tense. We need to talk. Her smile faded just a little. About what? About Lily. She sighed. What about her now? I took a step closer. Did you say those things to her? Her expression didn't change. What things? Don't play games, I said. Did you call her weak? Did you tell her she's just like Emily in a bad way? There was a short silence. Then she said calmly, yes. The word hit me harder than I expected. You're not even going to deny it? I asked. Why would I? She replied. I said what needed to be said. I stared at her. She's a child. She's a child who needs discipline, Mummy said coldly. That's not discipline, I snapped. That's hurting her. You're overreacting, she said. I'm teaching her to be strong. No, I said, shaking my head. You're tearing her down. Mummy leaned back slightly, her expression firm. Jason, you've always been too soft. And you've always been too harsh, I shot back. Her eyes narrowed. Watch your tone. I laughed bitterly. My tone? That's what you're worried about right now. You don't understand, she said. Children need structure. They need love, I replied. They need to feel safe. She is safe, Mummy said. She told me she's not. I raised my voice. The room fell silent. Mummy looked at me carefully. She said that? Yes, I said. She's scared of you. For the first time, I saw something shift in her expression. But it wasn't guilt. It was annoyance. She's being dramatic, Mummy said. Just like her mother. Don't, I said sharply. Don't what? She asked. Don't talk about Emily like that, I said. And don't talk about Lily like that either. Mummy stood up slowly. I raised you, Jason. I know, I said. And you turned out fine. I shook my head. Did I? She frowned. What is that supposed to mean? It means I've been blind, I said. I've been letting you control everything. That's ridiculous, she said. Is it? I asked. You chose my career. You influenced my marriage. And now you're trying to control how I raise my daughter. I was helping you, she said. No, I replied. You were controlling me. Her face hardened. You're making a mistake. Maybe, I said. But it's my mistake to make. We stood there staring at each other. The tension felt heavy, like something was about to break. And then I realized, something already had. For the first time in my life, I wasn't looking at my mother as someone who protected me. I was looking at her as someone who had hurt the people I loved the most. And that truth broke something inside me I didn't know could break. The knock on the door came when I wasn't ready for anything. I opened it and my breath stopped. Emily. She stood there, calm, composed, nothing like the woman I remembered from our last argument. Hi, Jason, she said softly. I stepped aside without thinking. Come in. She walked inside slowly, looking around the apartment like she was stepping into a memory. You look different, I said. So do you, Emily replied, giving me a small, tired smile. We stood there for a moment, neither of us speaking. Then she said, I heard about Lily. My chest tightened. How? Does it matter? She asked gently. I frowned. Yes, it does. Emily sighed. Sophia told me. Of course. Is Lily okay? She asked. I hesitated. She's getting there. Emily nodded slowly. Good. There was a pause. I didn't expect you to show up like this, I admitted. I didn't expect to either, she said. But when I heard what happened, I couldn't stay away. I crossed my arms. What exactly did you hear? That Lily is scared of your mother, Emily said plainly. I looked away. That's not the whole story, I muttered. Then tell me the whole story, she replied. I stayed quiet. Because I didn't even know where to start. Emily watched me for a second, then said something that hit deeper than anything else. She did the same thing to me, Jason. I looked at her sharply. What? Mummy, she said. She treated me the same way. I shook my head. No, that's not. It is, Emily cut me off. You just never saw it. My jaw tightened. Explain. She took a deep breath. She would criticize everything I did, Emily said. How I cooked, how I spoke, how I dressed. That's just her being. Don't, Emily said firmly. Don't make excuses for her again. I went silent. She made me feel like I was never good enough, Emily continued. Like I didn't belong in my own home. I swallowed hard. She would say things when you weren't around, she added. Small things at first, then worse. Like what? I asked quietly. Emily looked at me, her eyes steady. She said I wasn't strong enough for you, she said. That I would hold you back. My chest tightened. She said I wasn't the kind of woman you deserved, Emily continued. That I was weak. The word echoed in my mind. Weak. The same word Lily had used. She said that? I whispered. Emily nodded. And you didn't tell me? I tried, she said. So many times. I felt a wave of guilt hit me. And what did I do? I asked even though I already knew. You defended her, Emily said. Every single time. I closed my eyes. I thought you were exaggerating, I admitted. I know, she said softly. That's why I left. The words hung in the air. I thought you left because you didn't want this family, I said. Emily shook her head. I left because I couldn't breathe anymore. Silence filled the room. All this time, I had believed something completely different. I blamed you, I said quietly. I know, she replied. I thought you broke everything. Emily looked at me, her expression calm but sad. No, Jason, she said. It was already broken. You just didn't see it. Her words felt heavy, painful, but true. I ran a hand through my hair. Why are you telling me this now? Because Lily is going through the same thing, Emily said. And I'm not going to let her suffer the way I did. I looked at her, really looked this time. She wasn't angry. She wasn't bitter. She was strong. I should have listened to you, I said. Yes, she replied simply. There was no blame in her voice. That made it worse. I'm trying to fix it now, I added. Emily nodded. Then start by accepting the truth. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. Ryan. I frowned and answered. Yeah. Jason, we need to talk, Ryan said. Now? I asked. Yes. It's important. I glanced at Emily. Come over, I said. Ryan arrived 20 minutes later. The moment he walked in and saw Emily, he froze. You're here? He said. Emily crossed her arms. Surprised? Ryan looked uncomfortable. A little. I stepped forward. What's going on? Ryan rubbed the back of his neck. I heard about Lily. Everyone seems to know, I muttered. He sighed. Jason, there's something you need to understand. Then say it, I said. Ryan hesitated. Then he looked at me and said, I knew. The room went silent. Knew what? I asked slowly. About your mom, he said. About how she treated Emily. My heart dropped. You knew? I repeated. Ryan nodded. And you didn't tell me? My voice rose. I tried, he said quickly. No, you didn't, I snapped. You never said anything. Because you never listened. Ryan shot back. The words hit me like a punch. I would have listened, I argued. No, you wouldn't have, he said. Every time someone criticized your mom, you shut them down. I opened my mouth but nothing came out. Do you remember that night at dinner? Ryan continued. When Emily tried to explain everything? I did. I told you to hear her out, Ryan said. And what did you do? I looked away. I told her she was overreacting, I admitted. Ryan nodded. Exactly. The truth felt heavy in my chest. I thought I was protecting my family, I said quietly. You were protecting the wrong person, Ryan replied. Silence filled the room again. I looked at Emily, then at Ryan, then back at myself. I thought I was the victim, I said. Emily didn't say anything. Ryan didn't either. And that silence told me everything I needed to know. I wasn't, was I? I asked. No, Ryan said gently. I let out a slow breath. I was part of the problem. Saying it out loud hurt. But it also felt like the first honest thing I had said in a long time. She needs to stay with me. Mummy's voice was calm, but there was something sharp underneath it. I stood in the middle of the living room, my heart already racing. No. The word came out stronger than I expected. Mummy blinked like she didn't hear me right. What did you say? I said no, I repeated. Lily is staying with me. The air shifted instantly. You're making a mistake, Jason, she said slowly. Maybe, I replied. But it's my mistake to make. For a second, neither of us moved. Then she stepped closer. You don't understand what you're doing. I understand enough, I said. She's my daughter. And I'm your mother, she snapped. I know what's best. No, I said firmly. Not this time. Behind me, I felt a small hand grab mine. Lily. She held on tightly, like she was afraid I might let go. I squeezed her hand gently. I'm not letting her go, I added. Mummy looked at Lily, then back at me. You're filling her head with nonsense, she said. I'm listening to her, I replied. She's a child, Mummy said. She doesn't know what she's saying. She knows how she feels, I said. And that's enough for me. Mummy's expression hardened. You've always been too emotional, she said. That's your weakness. No, I said quietly. Ignoring this would be my weakness. Her eyes narrowed. You're choosing her over me? I didn't hesitate. Yes. The silence that followed felt heavy. Cold. You don't mean that, she said after a moment. I do, I replied. Lily's grip tightened again. Mummy took a step back, shaking her head. I raised you, Jason. Everything you are is because of me. I know, I said. And this is how you repay me? This isn't about you, I said. This is about Lily. It's always about me, she snapped. You just don't see it. I stared at her. That's exactly the problem. Her face changed just for a second. You're confused, she said. You're letting emotions control you. No, I said. For the first time, I'm thinking clearly. She let out a cold laugh. Clearly? You're pushing away the one person who has always been there for you. And hurting the one person who needs me the most, I replied. That shut her up for a moment. Then she straightened her posture. If you don't let her come with me, she said, I will take legal action. The words hit hard. You're threatening me? I asked. I'm protecting her, she said calmly. From me? Yes. I felt something inside me snap. That's not happening, I said. You don't get to decide that alone, she replied. She's my daughter, I said again. I do get to decide. We'll see about that, she said. Lily's hand started shaking in mine. It's okay, I whispered to her. But honestly, I wasn't sure it was. Mummy turned toward the door. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into, she said. Maybe not, I replied. But I'm not backing down. She stopped for a second, then looked over her shoulder. You will regret this. And then she left. The door closed with a quiet click. But the silence that followed felt louder than any argument. I let out a slow breath. Dad? Lily's voice was small. I turned to her. Yeah. Is she really going to take me away? She asked. I knelt down in front of her. No, I said firmly. I won't let that happen. She looked at me carefully. Promise? I promise. She nodded, but I could still see the fear in her eyes. I'm here, I added. I'm not going anywhere. She stepped forward and hugged me tightly. I closed my eyes for a moment. For the first time, I felt like I was doing something right. Later that night, I called Daniel. Hey, he answered. You sound serious. I need your help, I said. What happened? My mom is threatening legal action, I said. She wants custody of Lily. There was a pause. Okay, Daniel said calmly. Take a breath. I don't have time to breathe, I replied. She's not joking. I know, he said. But panicking won't help. I'm not panicking, I said. I'm preparing. Good, Daniel replied. Then listen carefully. I sat down trying to focus. You're her father, he said. That already gives you a strong position. She thinks I'm unfit, I said. Based on what? He asked. I don't know, maybe because I let things get this bad. That's not enough, Daniel said. She needs real proof. I exhaled slowly. So what do I do? You document everything, he said. Everything Lily has told you. Every interaction. Okay, I said. And you make sure Lily feels safe, he added. That matters more than anything. I will, I said. You're not alone in this, Daniel said. I've got your back. Those words gave me a small sense of relief. Thank you, I said. We'll fight this, he replied. I nodded even though he couldn't see me. Yeah, I said. We will. After the call ended, I sat there in silence. This was real now. There was no going back. I looked toward Lily's room. I'm not failing you again, I whispered. Because this time, I wasn't just fighting for myself. I was fighting for her. And no matter what it took, I wasn't going to lose. The courtroom felt colder than I expected. I sat beside Daniel, my hands clenched together, trying to stay calm. Relax, Daniel whispered. This is going better than you think. I nodded, but my chest was tight. It doesn't feel like it. Across the room, I saw Mummy sitting straight, her face still confident, like nothing could touch her. For a moment, I almost believed that again. Then the first witness stood up. I'd like to speak, the woman said. I frowned. I didn't even know who she was. Daniel leaned closer. Former neighbor, he whispered. The woman looked toward the judge. I've seen how Margaret Carter behaves when no one is watching. Mummy didn't react. What do you mean? The judge asked. She's harsh, the woman said carefully. Especially with children. My heart started beating faster. Can you be specific? The judge asked. I heard her yelling at Lily Carter multiple times, the woman said. Calling her weak. Telling her she wasn't good enough. I closed my eyes for a second. It was real. All of it. She made that child cry, the woman added. Mummy finally shifted in her seat. That's not true, she said firmly. But her voice didn't sound as strong as before. Daniel touched my arm lightly. This is what we needed. I nodded slowly. Then another voice spoke. I want to say something. I turned my head. Sophia? I whispered. My sister stood there looking nervous but determined. Go ahead, the judge said. Sophia took a deep breath. Margaret Carter did the same thing to me. The room went silent. What? I said under my breath. She controlled everything growing up, Sophia continued. What I wore, what I said, how I acted. Mummy stared at her. Sophia, stop this. No, Sophia said, shaking her head. I stayed quiet for years. I'm not doing that anymore. I felt like the ground was shifting under me. She made me feel like I was never enough, Sophia said. Just like Lily. Mummy stood up. This is ridiculous. Sit down, the judge ordered. Mummy slowly sat back down, her expression tight. I looked at Sophia. Why didn't you ever tell me? I whispered. She glanced at me. Would you have listened? I didn't answer. Because I already knew. No, I wouldn't have. The hearing continued, more voices, more stories. Each one chipped away at the image I had built in my mind for years. And with every word, I felt more ashamed. How did I not see this? I muttered. Daniel looked at me. Because you trusted her. I nodded slowly. Too much. Later that evening, I sat on the couch, staring at the floor. Lily walked in quietly. Dad. I looked up. Hey. She walked closer. Are you okay? I forced a small smile. Yeah. Just thinking. She sat next to me. About today? Yeah, I said. Was it bad? She asked. I hesitated. It was eye-opening. She nodded slightly. I heard Aunt Sophia talking, Lily said. I looked at her. What did you hear? She said Mummy was mean to her too, Lily replied. I exhaled slowly. Yeah, she was. Lily looked down at her hands. So it wasn't just me? No, I said softly. It was never just you. She looked up at me, her eyes searching. Why didn't you see it before? She asked. The question hit hard. I don't know, I admitted. Maybe. I didn't want to. She stayed quiet. I thought everything was normal, I continued. I thought, that's just how things were. It didn't feel normal, Lily said. I know, I replied. There was a pause. Then she leaned closer. Dad. Yeah. Thank you. I blinked. For what? For choosing me, she said. My chest tightened. I should have done that a long time ago, I whispered. She shook her head. You're doing it now. That was enough to break me. I pulled her into a hug, holding her tightly. I'm so sorry, I said, my voice shaking. It's okay, she whispered. But it wasn't. Not really. Because I knew how much she had gone through alone. And I had been right there, not seeing it. Days passed and things started to change. Lily laughed again. The sound caught me off guard the first time. Did you just laugh? I asked, smiling. She rolled her eyes slightly. Dad. I chuckled. I missed that. She smiled just a little. That small moment felt bigger than anything. You're getting better? I said. So are you, she replied. I raised an eyebrow. What does that mean? You listen now, she said. I nodded. I'm trying. You're doing it, she said. Her words meant more than she knew. Meanwhile, things weren't going well for Mummy. Daniel called me one afternoon. There's more coming out, he said. What do you mean? People are talking, he replied. Old friends, neighbors, even some family members. I sat down slowly. And? It's not good for her, Daniel said. I didn't feel relief. I felt strange. Is this what karma looks like? I asked quietly. Sometimes, Daniel said. I stayed silent. A few days later I saw her again. She didn't look the same. Her posture wasn't as strong. Her eyes didn't hold the same confidence. Jason, she said. I stood still. Mummy. She looked at me, really looked. You've changed, she said. So have you, I replied. She didn't argue. That was new. They're all turning against me, she said quietly. I didn't respond. I did everything for this family, she added. At what cost? I asked. She looked away. For the first time. She didn't have an answer. And for the first time, she looked vulnerable. Not powerful. Not in control. Just human. And somehow that hurt more than anything else. Dad. I didn't tell you everything. Those words stopped me. I looked at Lily, my chest tightening instantly. What do you mean? She didn't answer right away. She just stood there, holding her hands together, like she was scared of what would happen next. Lily, I said softly, you can tell me anything. She took a small step closer. It's about before. Before what? I asked. Before you started listening, she whispered. Something about that sentence hit me hard. Okay, I said carefully. Tell me. She looked down. There was a time when Mummy made me say something. My heart started beating faster. What did she make you say? Lily hesitated. Then she spoke. She made me say I didn't want to live with you. Everything inside me froze. What? I whispered. She said I had to say it, Lily continued. She told me it was the right thing. I felt like the ground disappeared under me. Why would she do that? I asked, my voice shaking. Lily's eyes filled with tears. She said you didn't love me. The words hit me like a punch. What? I couldn't even form a proper sentence. She said you didn't care about me, Lily said, her voice trembling. She said you only cared about yourself. My chest felt like it was collapsing. No, I said immediately. That's not true. I know, Lily whispered. But I didn't know before. That broke me. You believed her? I asked quietly. Lily nodded. I thought, maybe that's why you never stopped her, she said. Because you didn't care. I couldn't breathe. Every moment flashed in my mind. Every time I stayed silent. Every time I trusted Mummy instead of paying attention. I'm so sorry, I whispered. Lily wiped her tears. I was scared to tell you. You don't ever have to be scared of me, I said quickly. I know that now, she replied. But the words still hurt. Because there was a time she didn't know. And that time was my fault. I stepped back slightly, my legs feeling weak. I let this happen, I said almost to myself. No, Dad, Lily started. Yes, I said, shaking my head. I did. I dropped to my knees. The weight of everything hit me all at once. I should have protected you, I said, my voice breaking. I should have been there. Tears blurred my vision. I'm so sorry, Lily. I'm so sorry. I felt her arms wrap around me tightly. It's okay, she whispered. But I knew it wasn't. Not completely. Because no matter what I did now, I couldn't erase what she went through. I thought you didn't love me, she said quietly. That sentence cut deeper than anything else. I love you more than anything, I said, holding her tightly. I didn't see what was happening. You see it now, she said. Yes, I replied. And I'll never ignore it again. We stayed like that for a while. Just holding on. Weeks passed. Things slowly started to feel different. Better. Not perfect, but real. One evening, Lily walked into the room with a small smile. Dad. Yeah. I said, looking up. Do you want to watch a movie? I smiled. Of course. She sat next to me, leaning slightly closer than before. That small gesture meant everything. You seem happier, I said. I am, she replied. That's good, I said. She looked at me. Are you? I thought for a second. I'm getting there, I said honestly. She nodded. That's okay, she said. I saw Mummy one last time. She looked different. Not strong. Not in control. Just tired. They've all turned against me, she said quietly. I stood there not knowing what to say. I did everything for you, she added. I know, I said. Then why are you doing this? She asked. I took a deep breath. Because I finally see what it cost. She didn't respond. I'm not trying to hurt you, I continued. I'm trying to protect her. Mummy looked away. For the first time. She didn't argue. Emily and I started talking again. Not like before. But better. We both made mistakes, she said one day. Yeah, I replied. We did. But we can do better now, she added. I want to, I said. She smiled slightly. Me too. It wasn't a perfect ending. But it was a start. That night, Lily hugged me again. I love you, Dad, she said. I love you too, I replied. And this time, there was no doubt in her voice. Sometimes I sit alone and think about everything that happened. About the choices I made. About the things I ignored. And about the truth that changed everything. Sometimes the biggest enemy isn't the one who betrays you. It's the one you trust without question. I trusted Mummy to fix everything. I believed she always knew what was best. But I was wrong. And it cost my daughter her sense of safety. Her trust. Her childhood. That's something I'll never forget. But I'm trying to do better now. Every single day. Because this time, I'm not choosing comfort. I'm choosing truth. I'm choosing her. And even though that truth broke me, it also saved me.